Because
I had a whole conversation.
I had a whole conversation with the bitch up here about what's going on there. And I'm like, do not come at me for something I know my entire life about, and you know nothing.
And what's going on here? Man, you are now into the Zennials podcast. We are going to talk about one topic in particular. This show is completely, utterly dedicated to SNOVID-21. Hello, and how y'all doing? I'm Tora. We got Amy and Chris with us. We're just going to dive right in. Lately, we've been doing current events, and our current event has been SNOVID-21. SNOVID-21. Now, we are based mostly out of DFW. We are all have been or have lived in DFW for over a decade or so. This past week, we had about, I believe it was 10 days straight of below frozen temperatures, and it snowed. It snowed in Texas this year.
I tell you, I feel sorry for y'all. And I mean, I do a little bit, but you know.
Yeah. No, you don't. But at the same time, if hell froze over, my God, it kind of did. So our complete topics is going to be about SNOVID-21, the Texas snowstorm. We'll start off with a question that I'm pretty sure a lot of states are asking. Were we not prepared? And in a word, no, we weren't. I can't say on an individual level, but as a state, we were utterly unprepared. And it's not like we haven't had snow before. It's not like we haven't had ice before. I just think we haven't had it for as long and in this mass way.
But as somebody who's spent the last 3 years where this is kind of a regular occurrence, to prepare for it is a way of life. And it's just not the Texas way of life.
Which I get and I understand. But it's not that we didn't know this was coming.
But there is no way in the amount of time that you had that you could have prepared properly for what you had. I had a discussion with a young lady who has lived in the land of we won't go there on this one.
You've lived there in the land of there?
Yeah, in the land of frozen solitude her entire life, and that's Wisconsin. So really and truly, this is, being prepared for cold weather is really all she knows. And she's like, and I'm like, no. You need to understand, your homes are built to retain heat. Your homes are built to retain heat. That's the way homes are built here. To the point, homes don't come standard with AC units here. Like it's just not considered a standard of living that you have to have here. In Texas,
that seems blasphemous, but go ahead.
In Texas, our homes are built and insulated to retain the cool. So whereas to retain the heat, you double insulate and sometimes triple. To keep the cool, you do it singly. And that's just, we're not trying to trap the heat. We want the heat to go. We want to keep the cool air. And I was like, and for us, if a home doesn't have AC, you really ain't worried about, the local home improvement store running out of window units. I think once in a blue moon, everybody might be out. It's because everybody decided they were going to replace their window unit at the same time. I went, so that's the difference. We prepare for the heat. We prepare for the heat in Texas. Here, they prepare for the cold. And I was like, the difference is in Texas, we might get if we're lucky, 2 months of cold weather. And in Wisconsin, they get, 2 months if they're lucky of hot weather. There's no way that you guys, from the time the weather forecast came out, that you guys would have had enough time to prepare homes and businesses for what you were about to get hit with. There's no way.
Which I can understand to an extent. And the reason I say that is because the week before all of this popped off was the icy week with the 133 car pileup. I don't understand why that wasn't a precursor to what is to come. Could we have gotten everything? We can't. No, we couldn't have insulated all our houses or anything like that. But at least when it comes to the water and the power, I don't understand why they didn't take that opportunity to say, let's get on this and get ahead of this as much as possible. They probably couldn't have stopped everything, but they could have got ahead of something when it came to water and power.
I'll say this. I watched the weather for a week. A friend of mine and I, we were talking, and she saw the weather. She was like, it's about to get cold. So we watched the weather for a week, a solid week, talking a whole 7-day period. You had 7 days to at least get some preparedness, especially at least road-wise. I mean, even though we don't use, salt down here or whatever, but at least something on the road, multiple sand trucks or something possibly could have avoided the entire 100-car pileup. I mean, outside of the fact that people just needed to have slowed down, and they didn't.
Sand doesn't really work.
Well,
okay?
I mean,
if you think about it,
trust me, I have ads.
Sand doesn't really work because, in essence, sand is essentially glass. It's fine particles of glass. If you consider the fact that glass is made from sand, it's essentially all it is. And then, like anything else, if you get it wet, it becomes slipperier. We've all walked on a beach, and you get in certain areas walking on the sand, and you're like, whoa, you start slipping. You have full footing. So and then Texas did what a lot of the Midwest and northern states are doing now. They're using a slurry to combat the freeze and ice on the roads. Let's mix salt and water, forgetting that when you mix salt and water like that, you change the chemical composition of salt, and all you're doing is just adding water to the road.
Right. Hate to, because Chicago's still using straight rock salt. I've seen trucks myself. Straight rock salt.
I use kitty litter, to be honest.
That stuff that hurt you when it hit you in the face a couple times. Yeah. Growing up in Chicago, that was our. That's when you knew the winter hit, when you seen the big old salt trucks coming. So.
Okay, but when talking about this pileup, something could have happened. Like, again, other than the people slowing down because apparently they were too fast. But it's like nobody even treated the freeway. And if you go back through it, it's not a TxDOT thing. It's a contracted thing. And I'm like, why the fuck would y'all contract this type of situation out? That particular stretch of road was done by contractors who got paid a certain amount of money to do it. And it bothers me because I know a lot of things, especially around here. I believe it's like $635 or something. Some of that was paid. Rick Perry paid like a Mexican company to come and do the shit. Why are you having people that doesn't have any regulations or cares on our streets trying to do this?
Because it's cheaper to contract it out. It's cheaper.
And logically, I get what you're saying, but at the end of the day, this is how you treat your constituents. Yeah. This is how your people are. Dollar bills.
Yep.
This is how we're looking at it.
This is how the state of Texas and its constituents.
And then you got the nerve to put a toll on my fucking. I can't get you to fucking treat the damn roads before a snowstorm, but you can charge me a fee to get from point A to B.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's all I'm saying. If you dig a little bit deeper and you go through it deeper, you can see that it's a money game. It has to do with money, and more money, and how you not paying to get the potholes fixed. But damn it, we gonna charge you $13.95 to drive down this freeway, and that aggravates me. That's all I got to say about it.
As it should, because to live in.
What am I paying for?
Right.
What am I paying for? You want to charge me this money, but you're not doing anything for the money. It's like I'm charging you just because you live here. I'm charging you because you want to go from Fort Worth to Dallas, and this is the way you want to take. So I'm going to charge you because that's what you want to do. Bothered the shit out of me.
As it should.
Meanwhile, as far as the pileup goes, I'm not sure who's going to get blamed for that. Everybody's looking at the FedEx truck, and I don't know if it is the FedEx truck that started the ripple effect.
wasn't there an accident ahead of the FedEx truck?
See, I don't know, because I don't know where it began and where it did. Well, I see where it ended, but I don't know where it began.
So the FedEx truck was the only video that a lot of people saw, but there were already accidents in front of the FedEx truck that the FedEx truck actually hit.
I've also heard that a car slid and fishtailed, and then that was the ripple effect. So I don't know. A car had fishtailed, and that started the ripple.
Yeah, and I mean it very well could. Unfortunately, you can't really assign any blame on that. Because there's so many people at fault there. But what started it probably has more to do with the road conditions than anything else.
Yeah, so, I would like to blame those who did not treat the road.
Yeah.
Like, this is literally what you got paid, contracted, mind you, contracted work to do. Give me my product.
Tora, if I remember correctly, you do live more in the Fort Worth area, do you know?
I do.
Ask questions of your mayor, because she's the one who said we cannot place blame on our road crews or anything like that.
See,
we're told
the way our wonderful, lovely mayor working out. This is her last term, so there's like little to no fucks to give. If she had some in the beginning, she ain't got them now. Promise you, she ain't got them now. She's about to be out of office. She said, after this my last year, I ain't doing this no more.
Well, she just came out and said she wasn't running again.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So she's fixing to be out of there anyway. So it's, again, we're what are we doing here? Passing the buck, which is going to be a common theme of this whole show, is passing the buck.
Lady Price will run again, trust me. She'll run again. This is not the first time that Lady Price has said she's not running again.
True, very true, because she's known for that. You're right.
She does this because now people are going to fight to keep her there. It means she doesn't have to campaign, really. Everybody else is going to do it for her. But that's a subject for a whole other day.
Yeah, we'll talk about her later, because I got beef with her. So, and it's not like, it's just a little something to cook up and grill and eat that shit up. But if we can talk about her later. I just don't like some of her policies. So, now that we discussed part of the early predictions, what about who do we blame and who do we chin check? Because I got ERCOT, Encore, and Greg Abbott in my peripheral. So who do y'all? Who do the blame? Where do the blame go?
You cannot blame Encore, because Encore is one of many different providers.
ERCOT it is.
See, this is where the resident white girl decided she was gonna dig. Okay, let me close some windows out, open up some new ones.
I would like to blame somebody, and I'm almost for sure that I know what you might have found, because I probably found the same thing, and it might be a what the fuck moment. But yeah, I'm gonna wait for you.
It is a severe what the fuck moment. Okay, because it is. So for those who don't know, ERCOT is the Electric Reliability Council. It needs to be canceled.
Yeah.
Electric Reliability Council of Texas. And this is straight from their About Us page. That manages the flow of electric power to more than 26 million Texas customers, representing about 90% of the state's electric load. Which means essentially what they do is they determine that this company gets this much power, and this company gets this much power, and this company gets this much power. Now, the nasty, dirty little secret is we have an Electric Reliability Council of Texas, who on the board of directors, their chairwoman resides in Michigan.
Texas.
That thing.
Texas. Michigan. Texas.
Here's the question. Why do we have a council of Texas? Maybe we need to go over that a little bit. Why is there a council of Texas when I've never heard of a council of Florida before?
Okay, so that one you have to dig a little deeper, and you got to know a little bit more about some Texas history and the Texas way of thinking.
Yeah.
Texas has its own power grid.
Yep.
And Texas opted to have its own power grid so that it could forego federal oversight.
Yep.
Because let's face it, in the grand scheme of things, Texans love Texas and we love our summers. But what we also love is cranking those ACs up. So much so that we're going to crank the AC up, open the doors, and we're going to try to cool off the outside too.
Depending on who your mama is.
Right.
Depending on who your mama is. And my mama was like, no ma'am, we're not doing that.
If Texas were to remain on a federal grid, that would not be allowed. You would have rolling blackouts on a regular basis. Think about the giant heat waves that roll through California and what that does to the power grid when they start cranking their ACs and whatever else. They will go through rolling blackouts.
Now, I would like to go on record and say this. This is where the spiritual one kicks in. Okay, I have been extremely blessed. I did not lose water. I did not lose power. I mean, I did have to boil my water for a hot second there, but it was like a day and I was okay. I didn't lose power. I didn't lose my heat or any of the things that a lot of other people lost around here. I did not experience any blackout. However, in summertime, ERCOT, we have my neighborhood blacks out about 3 times a month, starting from around May until probably the beginning of September. I'm not even kidding. Since I've moved in this neighborhood, and I've been here for almost 9 years, we have blackouts. I stay across the street from a apartment complex and down the street from an elementary school. We have blackouts in the summer. Okay, the last blackout last summer we had, I was out for 3 days, no power for 3 days.
How far? And I'm going to ask you this question only because even though I am now 1,100 miles away from home, how far are you from the Children's Hospital in miles?
Oh, girl, because you know I do time.
Okay, time works too.
For the Children's Hospital is about 15 minutes away. And so I will say this, in this winter, for the SNOVID, I didn't experience any of that, which I'm so thankful for because I knew it was going to hit. Now, mind you, it hit in my area. It just didn't hit me. It's about 2 blocks away. It hit, and as a result of that, 2 houses caught on fire because they were trying to keep warm. But about 2 blocks away, they had power out from, their power was out Monday, and last time I checked was Thursday, and it was still out. So we do rolling blackouts like a motherfucker over here, but it's usually in the summer. I just decided I wanted to go ahead and say that. I'm not sure what we were talking about for me to think that. But yeah.
We were talking about the rolling blackouts. And the reason that I had the evil laugh is you live 15 minutes from the Children's Hospital. 15 minutes away.
From medical district, period. From medical district, period. Okay, I'm actually closer to Arlington than I am to the hospital. And Jerry's World.
Okay, so do you know why I have the evil laugh? Because so my evil laugh, and this is going to sound really horrible, and especially when it's coming from a resident white girl. Your neighborhood is on the upper end of a low-class neighborhood.
That is true.
You get hit with the rolling.
True.
And this is without me ever going to your house or knowing pinpoint location your home. Your home is on the higher end of a low-class neighborhood. I mean, no disrespect for that, because God knows I've lived in places like that too, and they're still some of my favorite places to be. Take the love. You know what? I've been called high class, low class trash my entire life, and I'm perfectly okay with it. Thing of it is, because of your location, you got some people who got a little bit more money than they let on. Therefore, you were protected from being frozen. And I say this with every ounce of my being, because Those 2 blocks away that got hit, it's more of the lower class, isn't it?
I will say the 2 blocks away are the houses are a lot older than where I'm at. There is a lot of older people in those blocks. The houses are a lot older than where I am. I'm around the newer housing.
Right. So which means they're stuck on Social Security and pensions, and they're draining the government, whether it's local or federal. What's the easiest way to get rid of them?
Freeze them to death? Is that what we're doing? We're freezing folks to death now? Like, that's okay?
Ladies and gentlemen, you are aware that the CDC actually has, and I kid you not, because I've actually seen the plans for it. Do you know they actually have areas designated into basic districts? We are slowly working our ways to a real-life Hunger Games, ladies and gentlemen.
So they're freezing the old people is what you're saying. Not even freezing them, but definitely, like, 2 houses literally caught on fire this week over there in that neighborhood, in that area of that neighborhood.
And the residents of the home, older?
Yeah, they were older people. Yes, they were older people.
You can call it a conspiracy theory. You can tell me I'm reaching. But ladies and gentlemen, COVID, put the facts in front of our faces. Put the facts in front of our faces. And when people start putting the pieces of the puzzle together, you will see the larger picture.
Oh, I would have to say that this is going to be research on my end because I'm unfamiliar, but I don't doubt it. I don't put it past it. I don't doubt it. But there was going back to the grid. There are parts of Texas that are not on this grid, which I did see and I realized, like El Paso. But then again, El Paso, Lubbock, Panhandle area, they get more snow than we would anyway, just for their location.
My grandmother lives out in the country. They had a blackout for about 45 minutes. They lose water on a regular basis because they are on county water.
Ew. I mean, I don't know what that means, but it sounds disgusting.
It means you are hoping that the well stays full enough to supply all the residents in the area.
I mean, like I said, we've been completely blessed over here. It's the summertime that kills us. We were completely blessed over here. And we even had our survival plan laid out. So we suffering was mandatory, but it wasn't going to be as bad as a lot of other people have been getting hit. Which is why I understand why they're so pissed off. But bringing back to the whole grid and electricity and trying to save and conserve, I'm just trying to understand why the damn office buildings downtown Dallas had lights on. Because they had...
If Jerry's World had lights on, so I didn't go anywhere.
I don't know.
I was extremely blessed to, like you, not lose power or water. But I wondered if Jerry's World had power. Like,
I don't know.
Because
I don't recall anybody saying anything about it. But
Jerry's World runs power 24/7. And
exactly.
If I'm not mistaken, I've watched enough NFL films in my lifetime, and I think they said that stadium has a generator that can light up a whole city. So, yeah.
And I'm not surprised, and it's probably true. But I don't know. I didn't hear anything about it. I did hear about the skyline, the Dallas skyline. Meanwhile, half the people on my news station, the reporters on my news station is in the dark, and they went out to the skyline and was like, the fuck? Explain this to me. Like, listen, if y'all are around DFW, Steve Noviello, he's one of my favorite journalists, takes no bullshit. He went out and posted up in front of it, was like, I ain't got power, but motherfucker, these people do. I'm trying to get an understanding. How? And that was my question. What were you rolling the blackouts at? And someone defined rolling blackouts, because I thought rolling meant, hey, it's going to go out for a little while, maybe an hour or so, and then come back up. I didn't think rolling was like we rolling through the whole week and then we're not going to have any power. So I would like the definition of what rolling blackouts is.
See, they forgot to mention they were rolling uphill.
Oh, is that what it is?
They were rolling uphill.
Is that what that was? Because they rolled right up to the skyline and totally half the neighborhoods was like, we ain't seen Power. Who is that? We ain't seen her in like 2 months. We ain't seen her in days. Who is Power? So I was just like, okay.
Well, see, now we're going to have people sitting here going, okay, so why does Texas have its own power grid in the first place?
Because we Texas and we believe we're our own self-country and we're a country within a country. We're a country within a country, and damn it, I promise that we are not going to share no power with nobody. You got us fucked up.
Well, and it's because Texas has always been prepared to pull away. Texas has always been been to secede from the Union. And that's fine. I mean, I'm Texas through and through, and I can't wait, because I can't wait to have my Texas issued passport and know that I'm the only person in my family who can travel freely.
Not the Texas issued passport.
Yeah, I can't wait to get mine, because my birth certificate says, born Dallas, Texas. I'm golden. But no, I mean, and that's part of what it is if we are stuck on a federal grid, then there's no way that Texas could ever secede from the nation, as they've threatened to do every time that Texas is like, no, we don't like this. We don't. But the problem is that the people who were in charge of delegating power, the vast majority, 5 of them, do not live within the great state.
And the one that does hops the motherfucking plane to Cancun and decides that he's gonna take a vacation. He needs to go get some gas. He gotta take a vacation. Let me go to the warm parts. Let me go. I had to drop off my kids.
Wait. He dropped off his kid, but hasn't made it back yet?
No. He came back, but that was his thing. That's what he said. He had to drop off his kids. First of all, he said a whole nother something before he said this. I went there because my daughters came to me and was like, oh, well, since we're out of school, we might as well can we go to Cancun? And me being a good dad, I decided I was going to. First of all, what 12-year-old, 8-year-old, 10-year-old, however old his kids is, asked for a vacation in Cancun specifically? I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that. I ain't saying it don't happen. I'm just saying that none of my kids have ever asked to go to Cancun, Disney World, Six Flags, Hurricane Harbor, SeaWorld. That's what I get. I've never had a child come to me. Not even my 18-year-old has come to me and be like, yo, Cancun, what's poppin'? No, I've never had that. So I'm just saying, what kids say, hey, since we're out of school, can we go to Cancun? And then like a motherfucker, you say yes. And then you say yes. That's like, to me, and this is coming from neighborhood, old school. What parent says yes to Cancun? And it's not even that I don't have the money to say yes. It's about the fact that if I'm a representative of this state and we going through it, listen, this is a perfect learning opportunity for you to understand our constituents. This is who we work for. We in hindsight, we work for these people. We gonna go through it together. We gonna push through with everybody. And for you to say, let's just go to Cancun. Let's go to Cancun. I had to drop my kids off. Wait a minute. You got a wife. What you need to drop your kids off for? They got somebody. My daughter been riding planes by herself since she was 9. What you need to drop your kids off for?
See, I was thinking the same thing too. I'm like, this would be a good time to teach your daughter civics lessons or teach your kids some civics.
This is a perfect time
on how to be, kind to others and how to help others and how to be something that obviously you're not. But he failed, and he failed miserably, and he got caught. And
then let me tell you something that I found out yesterday that pissed me off. He said, oh, we don't have power. We didn't have power in our house and it was cold in our house, but you left a fucking dog in the house. You monster. You left your poodle at the house. You left your poodle to freeze? Oh, hell no.
Was standing at the door looking outside the door
just
like, hello. How you doing?
Just looking sad. Just sad. Just a sad looking poodle.
Sad looking dog.
You know what?
The devil's advocate in me says, in all honesty though, if you'd have had the funds and the ability, would you have left to go someplace warmer?
I would have left to a hotel. I would have bought a generator, but I'm not leaving my house. That's like, if you the captain of the ship, you go down with the ship. You don't jump ship and hope everybody else make it. Women and children first. and you go down with the ship.
But,
As,
you know, I mean,
as a representative of the state, you go down with us, motherfucker. You don't go to Cancun.
Okay,
We got this
but, like,
shit out together.
when we had our pre-show discussions earlier in the week, and this was brought up, if y'all remember, I reminded you that he did this at the start of COVID too.
I was trying to find that. I couldn't find nothing on it. I remember the guy, the mayor in Austin, did it. I remember he did it, and he jumped ship and went to Cancun while he was telling everybody else to stay at the damn house. I remember
Joe
him.
Quimby. Yeah, no, Ted Cruz did do it. I remember Cruz doing it, and he got ragged for it. And I can't remember. I think Twitter. I think
our elected official
Yeah.
who didn't learn from his first mistake.
Yeah.
He did the same exact thing and thought he was going to get something different. Isn't that not the definition of insanity?
Yes, it is.
And this is who I got in it. This is my elected official.
Yes, it is.
I didn't vote for him. I'm just saying.
Yes, it is.
Meanwhile, Rick Perry says Texans would rather go without electricity than give the federal government more power over them. What the fuck Texan was he talking about? Because he did not ask me shit.
And Rick Perry is not even an elected official anymore, is he? No, he's not an elected official here.
Perry took his spot, right?
So
because he was part of the cabinet. He was like, what is it?
Yeah, he was a part of the cabinet. He was a part of the last presidential cabinet. He's no longer in that cabinet. But he has no elected. He holds no office here. So why would he be trying to? Why would he be?
I'm trying to understand who
why
told
would
you
he
to speak for me?
Exactly. Why would he speak for Texans when the reality of the entire situation is we don't need you to speak for us, dog. We good.
And this was a quote. I'm thinking maybe this was an old quote. This was a quote from the 17th.
Right.
Who told you to speak for me?
Who told you that the Texans that lost power lost their homes because they caught on fire because they were trying to stay warm?
Come on.
Lost their homes and apartments because water pipe burst?
Come on.
I saw pictures of an apartment in Dallas that I go past often when I'm in Dallas, and the entire thing from top to bottom was flooding because the water pipes burst, and they burst from the top all the way down, and it looked like a cascade of nothing but water. And we're talking $80,000-$90,000 condos that's sitting downtown.
And that's before the froze. That's before the freeze, because now it looks like a whole, like Elsa lived in that piece.
So it's like literally, what Texan were you talking about?
Who did he talk to? The chick that had her car, her BMW or whatever, in the parking garage up under a water pipe that busted, and now she got a whole ice castle out of a car, a whole ice car and shit. Did he talk to her about that? Did she say that? I'm just trying to understand. Listen, don't speak. Where is you at? Do you have power where you at?
Now, you know, dang on good one. Rick Perry is not in Texas. I think he's.
Does Rick have power?
He probably can. He probably does.
Is Rick warm? Is Rick boiling his water before he takes a bath? Or in this case, a wash off, because it's going to be a lot of water to boil. Where is he at?
Nowhere, but running his mouth.
I'm not happy with any of my elected officials right now. Don't tell me I'm out of water or I don't have power either, bitch. I don't care. I don't have power. That's what I care about. I don't care that you don't have power. What about people such as myself who don't have anywhere else to go? I'm here. If I live here in Fort Worth by myself and all I got is me and my kids and we lose power and water, what do we do next? I go outside. I can't run my car because if I run my car, I'm going to run out of gas, and ain't no gas anywhere in the city. So what's the plan? This is what I'm talking about. They could have had some kind of plan or something. There should have been something. Okay, there should have been some kind of preparedness.
If the country can have the country as in America, the United States, if the country can have a surplus of oil, why isn't the great state of Texas in all of its glory have a surplus or a stash of oil sitting somewhere so your prices don't go up in situations like this?
Who's to say that they don't?
We don't.
Who's to say we don't?
We don't.
We don't that we know of? You mean we don't? Me and you and everybody else? We don't.
We don't. Because if we did, your $2.39 gallon of gas that you got to pay for tomorrow when you go down the street to take daughter to work would be a lot less cheaper, regardless, because we'd have that oil supply already in circulation. Because see, it's not just about you and me. There's other people out there that need that too. That's gonna
y'all
be paying
$2.39 a gallon. Ooh.
It's we don't have so much. It don't stay icy here like it does there.
Seriously, fuel here. I think when I drove by earlier today was $2.19 a gallon.
Huh.
God bless you.
You know what? That makes Chris's question even more relevant now, because we're oil state, and the fact that the middle America, who is not an oil state, has more gas than the oil state. It's a question. It's a question. Now it's definitely a legit question.
Okay, so that one boils down to, as someone who's lived a little bit of everywhere, not only is Texas an oil state, we are also a beef state, correct?
Yum.
You go into the grocery store and you compare the prices of beef to pork and chicken, and to get, a 1 pound decent steak, you're gonna pay about $9-10.
Facts.
Maybe. Like up that price just a little bit more.
Okay. Well, I mean, we're talking. So that same steak that you guys are paying that for in a beef state, where it should be cheaper because it's grown there, it's fed there, it's processed there, it's packaged there, it's distributed there. It should be a lot cheaper because of, it's not even about supply and demand. There's a surplus of supply, but it's not. Milk, on the other hand, is cheaper, and Texas is not a dairy state. When I lived in Vermont, milk was, oh my God, through the roof. Like, it was hilarious to walk into a grocery store and see the price of milk, $3 a gallon. Not at your local convenience store, but in the fucking grocery store. Meanwhile, I can go get that same 1 pound steak we were just talking about for like $5 because, oh wait, the supply of milk is higher. So, and we're bringing in, the beef. Like, you cannot use dairy cattle the same way you can beef cattle. They're very different, and it sounds stupid. There's a very big difference between dairy cattle and beef cattle.
And ain't cattle, y'all.
It's really not, because it depends on what you feed them. There's a very different diet for beef cattle than there is for dairy cattle.
If they're the fuzzy cows, oh, I love them. Continue what you were talking about. I just love fuzzy cows.
But I mean, it all boils down to Texas did what Texas does best. Texas said, hey, we can do this. What they failed to tell you is that the vast majority of the power, there was no need for it. They want to sit here and blame it on the wind turbines and solar panels and all of these things. Well, first off, the solar panels are designed to allow for snow and ice. The ice will build up. However, it will not affect its ability to absorb solar energy. But they are designed to allow the snow to slide off. That's why they are put at an incline and not flat. The wind turbines, okay, anybody who thought that was an intelligent thought process, because the irony to a wind turbine to create wind energy is hilarious, because you actually need an electric motor inside to maintain the turbine in and of itself. And as I pointed out to one of the groups I followed, this is the biggest laughing stock ever. There is no way that Texans were trying to remotely generate enough heat that it would overload the grid. Sorry, not buying it. It's not possible. Not for a bunch of people who, when it's 115 in the shade, crank their ACs down to 58, plus their window units. Do not feed me that line of crap. There is more power surging through the state and that power grid from May 1st to the week before Halloween than there is any other time. And primarily because, oh wait, from the 1st of September till the end of October, mid-November, there is not a city in the state who doesn't have their football field lit up with every light that the city's got to offer for Friday night lights, Friday high school football. Sorry, you're not telling me that. And the vast majority of Texans wanted to believe the narrative that everybody running their heat was going to overload the grid. No.
And I'm with you on that one. Being that I live here, I've been in Texas pretty much my whole life, and we know what the summers is like. We know. Listen, how many people will turn on a fan right now in Texas and sleep? So I can't believe that people were just trying to warm up so bad. Like, this was good weather for a lot of people. For a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? This was not bad weather. As far as long as I'm in the house, I'm all right. So no, I'm riding with you on that one. I don't believe that. Oh my gosh, there was so many people trying to be warm. Where?
The homeless shelters, maybe.
Where? Other than the homeless shelters, and that's a legit ass reason. I'm with you on it. I follow you because again, we live here. You know what? And I think that's like people in the South. You can't tell me because of heat. Somebody is lying. So now, okay, of course, we ran out the power. The quote rolling blackouts as they. Oh no, they're not. Okay, I'm gonna say this. When it comes to the blackouts, I don't think that they gave people enough warning. And how you got the nerve to turn somebody's lights out at 1 o'clock in the morning? Bitch, I'm still up. What is you talking about? Like, nobody was going to notice that the lights went out at 1 in the morning or 2 in the morning or 3. We're still up. Neither here nor there.
Not only that, the rolling blackouts were a joke because for the amount of time that they were scheduling for the areas to be out, the way the temperature was, and because the homes are not insulated properly, they were going to drop heat and get colder faster, which meant that your heating units were going to work twice as hard to get back to the temperature that it was when it was kicked off, which would have caused even more issue.
But let them tell it. If they had not have done the exact thing that they did, then oh my gosh, we'd still be trying to figure out how to get the heat back on. We'd be still trying to figure out how to put the power back on. Had we not did what we did. Okay, but what your house look like is what I'm trying to understand. What your neighborhood look like is what I'm trying to. I need some. Oh, I lost power too. Did you? But do you have a generator in the back?
Look at the neighborhoods. Honestly, look at the neighborhoods that were majorly affected by the blackouts.
Now here's the thing.
And look at the demographics within those neighborhoods.
I was on that for a second up until I realized that a lot of the you have to consider the city. You have to consider the city because in Dallas there was a lot of uptown residents. I think 7502, I think that's the zip code. A lot of them in the higher priced residents, they went dark. And there was this whole thing on the TV. Oh, well, you're discriminating because you're saying that most of the poor, and it wasn't poor, it was a lot of people in the. Okay, these are people with, like, I think the average house cost $2.9 million in that neighborhood, and they went black. However, half of them had generators also. So there's that part. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. I ain't gonna say that rich people didn't feel it. I'm just gonna say that they didn't feel it as hard as the other people did. Now the rolling blackouts caused a lot of us to go on a water boil order. And I'm pretty sure everybody knows what a water boil order, but if you don't know what a water boil order is, it's where you don't drink in or bathe in or wash your hands or ass or anything with water from the faucet because there could be bacteria inside of the water. And you are ordered to boil the water before drinking, using, washing your body, whatever. Before using the water, you're ordered to boil the water for safety concerns.
No, you can bathe with it. You can bathe with it. You can't wash your dishes with it because you're going to eat off it. You can't drink it. You can bathe in it.
I can't bathe in it because I usually run water on my face and water gets in my mouth. So when you shower, no. Okay. Anyway, so.
Oh, I got you. I just.
Okay.
For a second there, it was like, what? Okay. Yeah. Okay.
You just look like he wasn't catching what I was saying. I was like, no, just me? Okay, my bad. Listen, the water boil. Okay, we ran out of water. I made the mistake of going to the grocery store. I went to the grocery store and I was like, look at the pandemic. Goddamn Jumanji level 2. We're back on it. Cause there was no bread, ain't no water, ain't no toilet paper. I was like, damn, they panicked like a mother. But the boil water order caused people to boil water in order to wash their hands. We had a system going on in our house because for a little while that's how it had to be. We ran out. I don't know. I guess it was a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? It was a little bit interesting as far as the boil water order. People ran out, and I felt bad for people who did not have the water, because it was like, okay.
It's interesting we're talking about the boiled water situation, because I just got a text in the middle of this podcast about the boiled water situation that I'm trying to have conversation.
Wait, you just got that text?
No. Coming from Chicago, I know about boiled water situations because they happen in Chicago as well. They do happen up north. There are situations where you have to boil water at some point in time because something happens to the water supply. I get it. The panic is real, people. The panic is real. Like, I've never...
Again, it plays into those of us who have grown up in a different time before we had all of the advancements with technology that we do. I mean, my grandmother has a filter on her sink, on her faucet, and then I love her to pieces. She runs it through a Brita filter. A second one, the pitcher. And she, on occasion, she'll go ahead and boil the water anyway. I mean, I've watched the water come out of her faucet brown. And the funny thing is the water company will be like, no, it's perfectly fine to drink. And I'm like, really? Because I'm not even sure this came from planet Earth.
Right. And I've had that happen, different apartments I've been in or whatever. You get a glass of water and it's like, the book is bottom of my glass.
And I understand everybody's thought process behind, well, don't boil your water and then drink it. Well, I mean, okay, it makes sense in the grand scheme of things. It really does make sense. But it's like, how do you tell people, okay, if you really want to do this, not only do you need to boil it, you need to run it, you need to pour it into something else through a cheesecloth or a dish towel or something, because the impurities are going to fall to the bottom. That's right. What you're hoping for. The idea is you boil it, but you never empty the pan. Right.
You're absolutely correct when you said that they're not built like we were. Like they're unfortunately, Gen X and Y had to learn things differently. Technology caught up by the time Gen Z got here, but X and Y, we had to learn things differently. Like, we had to learn how to strain our water. We had to learn these different things. And I feel bad because, goodness gracious, there are people that they don't know it, they didn't learn it, and man, if the Hunger Games started tomorrow, they'd be lost.
So what else is called the aftermath? Our school systems, if they weren't shit before, they're shit now.
I thought we was talking about Dr. Dre. I'm sorry.
because now the kids are even more behind.
Oh, not because we left Death Row. I thought it was because we left Ruthless. I'm sorry. We left Ruthless and we not Death Row. Okay.
No, we not Death Row. Or
I mean, I'm sorry. We left Death Row and then we in the aftermath. But okay. Anyway, continue.
No, not that aftermath.
Continue. All right.
The aftermath of SNOVID-21.
Listen, I am so. I'll be honest. So my kid's school was one of the schools that actually had pipes that burst. So the school was essentially damaged. So they're out of school. So they're out of school Monday, Tuesday, and maybe Wednesday this week. So I'm not even sure if they're going to school this week. Again, like you said, I think it just pushed this further and further. And it's like, man, they're already children out here struggling. This is not good. It's not good.
I will say this, and it is as ugly as it may sound, this may be the dumbest generation, like book wise.
This is absolutely. I want to say you're absolutely. I hate to say it, but you're right. You're right. They get most of their information and knowledge from TikTok and YouTube and all the other TikTok and YouTube. Let's just say TikTok and YouTube, because that's where I get a lot of conversations that happen. And, I learned it on TikTok or I saw it on YouTube, and I'm like, the shooter was not in front of the car, sir. The shooter was on the 6th floor of the school book depository and let it go. Okay. But,
We can argue that one a different day.
yeah, I know. Like, and I'm like, just can you read a book? Can you watch a movie? Like, can you do something to get more knowledge than what you see on TikTok?
It's not just that. Based off of COVID-19, and then for Texas, these kids have been taught when the going gets tough, run and hide.
Or find Wikipedia.
Run and hide. Don't face it. Don't try to overcome it. Submit to it and hide.
There isn't too many places you can hide. Like, where are you gonna hide it? Because everything is open and in plain sight now. So where are you gonna hide?
But if you recall, when we went to school, we had tornado drills during effing tornadoes, where we were told, go in the hall and cover your head, not hide under your desk.
Yeah, we did.
These kids are taught, it's okay, we'll just send you home.
I know that my kids, we're in Fort Worth, we're in different cities, me and Chris are in different cities, and our kids are not going to school Monday and Tuesday either.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, that's gonna put y'all way behind. I mean, y'all are already ass behind. Now y'all are ass behind.
They getting cheated out of their Phineas and Ferb 105 days of summer vacation.
Facts. Because they was like, yay! And I was like, y'all do know y'all don't. Y'all summer is going to be shorter because of this shit, right? They got to make that shit up some kind of way.
Your last day of school was supposed to be June 5th. Now you looking at July 1st.
Right?
Sorry. And you go back to school in August, so.
Sorry, yeah. No summer for you guys.
That's like 4 weeks of summer and you can be right back at it.
But it kind of makes you wonder if this is part of a bigger plan, because I know for a while Texas schools have been talking about going year round.
Do we really want them to go year round though? Come on, are they really learning anything enough to go year round? Because if my kid spends more time learning stuff on TikTok enough to tell me that the shooter was in the front seat, what are you learning in school?
Look, not even trying to be
funny, that's a discussion for another day.
Oh, yeah.
TikTok do be teaching them something though. I'm not gonna lie. Get on math TikTok.
So I feel like
I learned cooking hacks, okay?
I feel like it's a 50-50 bag. You know, it's really a 50-50 bag, but you can't give these kids all of this knowledge at one time. They can't process it like we process it. And we've had time to learn how to process it. Well, they're getting this knowledge now where they're at that impressionable stage where if you tell them the incorrect thing or the thing or something that's not
right,
the shooter,
that doesn't fit their narrative.
The shooter was in the front seat type thing going, then now you're leading them down a whole different direction that you're not going to be able to get them back from. And then we're going to have a whole generation of kids that just, we are going to look at like, okay, y'all dumping in a box of bricks.
We've already got half a generation like that. We refer to them as snowflakes currently.
Yeah, we do.
What TikTok is talking about the shooter in the front seat? Because everybody who didn't watch Umbrella Academy know the shooter was on the grass, you know.
No, he wasn't.
Again, this is a whole nother show, ladies. This is another show.
But if you've seen Umbrella Academy,
right,
then you know what I'm talking about.
I've seen the Umbrella Academy.
And you know Five's people was up. Okay, anyway.
Yeah, we see that.
Listen, that's probably going to be one of our
Wait.
videos. Umbrella Academy.
Wait. Yeah. Look, we want to throw television shows out there, and we're talking about SNOVID-21. Let's go ahead and hit it. I still stand by the fact that Matt Groening is a time traveler, because this was a Simpsons episode 30 years ago.
Was it not?
Man, look here.
You know what? Ain't nobody gonna convince me that Matt and at least 3 people on the writing staff are not time travelers. No one has come up with proof that they are not. So until someone brings me proof that they aren't, nobody can tell me. I stand by Simpsons like 110%. Sorry, guys. Simpsons is on it. Simpsons is real. Why do you think they've been lasting this long? The Simpsons about as old as we are. How do you think that happened?
But no, I mean, so on technicality, did Texas have 30 years to prepare for this? Absolutely.
On technicality, they did.
I hate to say it, but yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. From the last time it happened, and see, it's funny because coincidentally, the Simpsons are 30 this year. The last snowstorm that really hit Texas was roughly about 30 years ago. You had 30 years to figure this out. You had to have known that it was. I mean, I understand that 30 years ago, Texas was a little bit different as far as its population, or however much was out here. Because even when I got here 20 years ago, it was not as developed as it is now. But this is absolutely, positively, 100% nuts to me that they never upgraded their grid to accommodate for this.
I was asked, well, why don't they use like natural gas? And he's like, oh wait, you guys don't have that. And I'm like, no, there's natural gas. But the thing of it is, nobody builds their homes for it. I mean, you got people who live out in the rural areas who have the 500-pound propane tank in the backyard.
Right.
Or as I like to call them, Texas missiles.
Actually, did your grandparents have natural gas, or they use electricity?
They have electricity.
Okay.
For the longest time, they did have the 500-pound propane tank in the backyard.
AKA Texas missile. Okay.
Right. Out in East Texas, where some of my family lives, because my cousin lost her house to a fire. Everything she owned in the midst of
during SNOVID-21, mind you.
Yeah.
Which is another thing that pisses me off so bad. But yeah, we're just
theirs was not due to trying to keep their trying to stay heated by using like different heat sources or whatever. Theirs was an electrical thing, and thankfully there was nobody home. We in Texas, I always say we, even though I'm not there anymore, but I'm Texas through and through, and always will be. Like home is where your heart is. My heart's in Texas and always will be. We don't use natural gas for that. People don't heat their homes with natural gas because it's easier to use electric. You don't have to worry about the things. And what most people what most people don't realize is, even if you do use natural gas to heat your home, you still need electricity for the furnace. Like that's the catch-22. Like my home here is heated by natural gas. Like it comes straight up out of the ground into my home. But I have an electric furnace,
which is
it kind of it defeats the purpose. If the power goes out, my furnace ain't working.
But then you know what? Speaking of gas, not necessarily natural gas, but more of the petrol, the prices. There's a gas shortage now, especially here in North Texas, because we are not that close to the oil rigs. Sorry guys, I don't know what they've been telling y'all, but there's not oil rigs everywhere around Texas. The two closest gas stations to my house, they're out. They're completely out. Of course, they're like, okay, well, due to the snow, we couldn't ship it in and all this extra stuff. So now, I don't blame the snow, because we knew it was coming. I kind of put that on the people who decided that they need to turn off the power, the people who decided that we're not gonna treat the roads and the streets the way they need to be treated, the people who decided that it was entirely too expensive to winterize our power plants and our water plants.
I'm gonna tell you right now that even that doesn't affect a truck driver's ability to deliver. Sorry. These guys travel the country, and the same guys that are delivering in Dallas-Fort Worth area are the same guys that are delivering in Lubbock and Wichita and Abilene and Amarillo. I mean, you want to experience all four seasons, just travel to a different area of Texas.
Is there not an actual reason for them to not have gas, is what you're saying? We should have gas.
So
there's no reason why we should not have gas, because the very reason that they're blaming that we don't have gas is because we didn't have power and we couldn't get X, Y, and Z done. So the reason, there's no reason for us to not have gas.
So
petrol.
Look, nobody's stupid. If you've been to any gas station anywhere in this country, you've seen the fuel truck making his delivery. Okay. He takes the hose off his truck. He opens up the little cover. He attaches his hose to it. He flicks a switch on his truck. Fuel rolls in. He runs the amount he's supposed to into the underground tank. He flicks the switch off. He lets whatever's still in the hose drain out. He removes the hose. He puts the cover back on. He puts the hose on his truck. He goes inside his truck. He prints out a little form from inside his truck. Takes it inside, hands it to whoever's behind the counter, and goes about his day. Okay, so you got gas. It's just you ain't had electricity to operate the pump that you're using because everybody has automated to digital pumps. But think about it. Back when we were growing up, you had to watch them numbers turn.
Mm-hmm.
And you had to flick the little handle up. There was no automatic shut off when you put the nozzle into the tank of your car. So no,
and depending on where you were at, somebody else did it for you.
Right.
It was not self-serve.
Right. So the whole we don't have fuel. No, you have fuel. What you don't have is electricity to run the pump that you didn't have a backup plan for. It's because when everybody was talking about we don't have gas, like when the pandemic first began, no, it wasn't that nobody had gas. It was plenty of places had it, but because nobody was traveling, no company wanted to take responsibility for old fuel going in because it's not designed to sit for long periods of time. The longer it sits, the worse it is. Think about it this way. If you've got a lawnmower and you've got a gas can that you fill your lawnmower up with, it's been sitting in your shed, because, once July hits, ain't nobody mowing their grass because everybody's grass is brown and dead. In Texas, you get green grass for about 2 months. Okay. So you got this 2-gallon can of gas, and when you go to put it in, the following spring, when you're finally gonna mow your yard because it's green, your mower runs funky because the gas is old. I fail to believe that there's a shortage. It's just not happening.
I got a question. The people of Texas, Ted Cruz or Greg Abbott, who's to blame for this?
Rollerblade.
Who is Rollerblade?
Sorry, Roller Buddy. That'd be Greg Abbott.
Oh. It took me a second. Got it.
Huh?
Greg Abbott. Why are we blaming Greg?
We gonna blame Greg because not only was he ineffective in his governing of the state, but it also took him 3 days to declare and another 2 days to ask for federal emergency disaster relief. Tell me why it takes 5 days to do this when you've seen the shit coming for a fucking week.
Ooh. So we gonna blame Greg.
A week. You saw it coming a week. The weather hadn't changed. Meteorology was still the same. He was going to get it like Wednesday night, Thursday morning. Temperature was going to drop. What the hell did you think was going to happen? What did you think was going to happen when it hit 7 degrees?
Y'all got fucking Pete Delkus. Your weather was spot on.
Pete, don't miss the beat. Don't miss the beat.
You saw it coming for a week. A week. I saw this shit for a week.
Tell me how my 80-year-old grandmother was more prepared than our governor.
What? Got it. What?
We got a whole state of what?
I done got the blankets out. I already knew what it was. I got the blankets out. I went to the store beforehand because I was like, man, I ain't getting out this year. We gonna be trapped in the house for at least a week. Let me make sure we straight.
We all saw it.
I also forget I have teenage kids and boys and things like that.
You had to fall for like.
But anyway, yeah.
This is a week. Yeah.
Right. I should have had store.
But
I should have had more. But yeah, you're right.
We saw it coming for a week. Like we literally.
You know what?
A week. Who missed this shit? Who in the government missed this shit? Who was too busy trying to get to Cancun that they couldn't understand that there was a winter storm headed in our direction?
I'm pretty sure Ray Charles saw it.
What part of 7 degrees did you not understand was freezing temperatures? What part of 7 on the forecast did you not understand was freezing? I'm gonna center myself here because that's been the thing that made me so mad about this entire Snowmageddon here is that how is it that a week in advance you had enough warning, but you did nothing about it?
On behalf of all Texans, I'm gonna tell you why. We thought we could treat it like we do hurricanes and tornadoes. Shit, we got 15 minutes. You better run to the store and get that fucking beef jerky and beer.
Or he might have came to a conclusion like, this Texas, it's gonna change. It never stays the same. It'll be 7 degrees on Wednesday, but damn it, it's gonna be 77 on Thursday. That's probably where his mind was at.
And you looked at Thursday and the damn temperature said 23 in the morning and 32 for the rest of the day. And it didn't change for an entire week. You saw the temperatures for Friday. Friday said it was going to be 25 degrees all day, 17 at night.
Would this be considered a testament to our lack of voting and how we need to have the right representatives representing us, and how we need to actually go out and think about and have people that actually have our backs handling all of our state issues? Because this guy is like
well, as a nation, what we need are politicians who understand that global warming is not a figment of your imagination. And just because it's the term global warming doesn't mean that it's all about warming. Global warming is a shift in weather patterns.
Holy shit. And I don't even understand how they've been living as long as they have and don't see the shit. Because this is not your childhood winter. This is not how it looked when I was a kid. This is we literally, I do recall when I was maybe about 9, I do recall having 4 seasons. We literally have 2, maybe 2.5 now. And I don't understand how nobody can see that this is not the same world that it was 20, 30 years ago, 30, 40 years ago.
I'm from Chicago. They got their first snow in January this year, 2021.
The first snow?
In January of 2021.
Yeah, it's the same here. We had like a few dustings where it would spit some snow, and really and truly it was more of a rain, but it was just too cold to really be rain, so it turned into like snowy ice shit. We did not get our first real snowfall until mid-January.
Nobody
of 2021, not 2020. 2021.
No one's seeing this. No one's like, that's a little peculiar.
I went to Chicago.
Maybe we should look into this.
I went to Chicago about 3 or 4 years ago, and I was up there during the winter. It was 60 degrees. This was in the middle of February. 60 degrees outside.
It's supposed to be 40 next Sunday for us.
It was 60 in Chicago in February. I don't know if y'all know about Chicago winters, but February, Chicago.
I never experienced it, never want to, but I've heard stories.
Yes, I do know about it because my ass got snowed in at O'Hare at 15. And I was left in the airport alone at 15.
God bless you, because O'Hare is big and scary at night when ain't nobody in it.
At 9, I had to take the agents to my gate because I had the unaccompanied minor escort, and I had to tell them how to get to my gate.
That's sad. That's sad, Cricket. That's real sad. But I mean, yeah, global warming isn't a catchphrase. Global warming's real. Like it's been going on for years. I don't understand how people don't know.
Well, because they see it as, well, it's not getting warmer. It's not, and I'm like, okay, but what you need to understand is global warming, it doesn't necessarily mean warming. It's like when you say racist, it's not just all white people are racist. There are Black racists, there are Asian racists, there are, it's a blanket term. It's global warming breaks down to a shift in weather patterns. Your polar ice caps are melting, okay? The North Pole, ironically, that everybody associates with snow and ice, this is where it gets really funny. You know, the South Pole is actually what's the frozen, you know, when you look at it. The North Pole is actually the greener of the two. And it is now to the point where it is flipping. The places that have always been warm are now getting cold. The places that have always been cold are now getting warm. This, ladies and gentlemen, is global warming. This is, you know, this is years and years of factory and industry catching up to us. You cannot have the rapid acceleration of technology the way that we have and not expect adverse, results. And, you know, us 80s kids and our moms didn't help with, 7 cans of Aquanet under the freaking sink to go out on a Friday night.
But yeah, I mean, it was told to us while we were growing, as a Gen Xer, it was definitely explained to us, we had the whole ozone warning, because we had a hole in the ozone layer. Like, did anybody forget that still existed? Yes, the hole is not as big as it used to be, but did anybody remember that? I don't even think people still know that that's a thing. Like, if you were asking anybody, I don't think a lot of people even remember or know that this is a thing. It's like, there's
ask your kids. Ask your kids.
Yeah,
and I'm almost for sure, like 98% sure they ain't never heard of that.
Right.
Because I mean, if you dig through grandma's cabinet, you're gonna find that can of hairspray from the 80s. You're gonna find it. I don't care who you are, you're gonna find it. Unless grandma was the White Rain like pump bottle. Okay.
Ew, not the White Rain.
But yeah. Otherwise, there was that bottle of Aquanet. Now, if you compare that bottle to a can of hairspray today, there is a giant warning that now says contains no CFCs. The things that weren't on the labels of everything we were spraying in the oven and clean out the fridge. Right. Clean the tires on our cars.
No doubt. And I mean, it's almost like they totally forgot that it existed. And these problems aren't new. These problems have been sitting there. These problems aren't new at all. I mean, it's been coming. These problems aren't new. Like, that's just the way it is. And I mean, Texas, unfortunately, I lay the unpreparedness, I lay the failure of leadership at the feet of Greg Abbott, and I do believe that we as a state definitely should come together and let our elected officials know how disappointed we are in them by way of our votes. If that's the only way that we can be the voice and change that we want to be, then we need to actually do that. We don't need lip service. We need to actually do that. We also need candidates out there that are going to run on the premise of actually making the change and then going out and doing that, not just talking about it, but to do it. Because you can talk the talk all day long, but you got to walk the walk at some point in time. Or you should be just like your predecessors, vote you right out of office. I understand that government is a boys club or whatever. I get it, but we've been for so long told the same thing that no one changes anything. As much as we talk about it, no one changes anything. And I feel like that's our biggest problem right now, is that we've been told for so long, it's Washington, it's what happens, or it's Austin, it's what happens. The reality of the situation is, if you put somebody out there to run, and you put another person out there to run, and then you put another person out there to run, eventually you'll change the system. But you got to work hard at it. You got to hustle at it. You got to do more than just talk about changing the system. And you have to change the system.
But on top of that, though, is you have all these people that are going to talk the talk. And, they swear by the fact that not only are they going to talk the talk, they're going to walk the walk. And then they realize that government is a money club. Well, I can make money. I know I told my people I would do this, but these people over here said they would give me this if I'll do that.
It has a lot to do with, like you said, it's a money game, and people, they're talking and not necessarily walking. But at the same time, embedded in the nation is an unwillingness to change. As a nation, not necessarily just Texas, but as a nation, there is an unwillingness to change and an unwillingness to adapt to times.
Yes. Amen.
There's not, for whatever reason, it is somewhat taboo to talk about climate change. And it's like, y'all live in the same state I live in. I know you see it's fucking freezing right now. Or depending on season is, it's hot than a mug right now. I don't understand why you don't understand that this is a real thing that is happening. So,
complacency.
Yeah, complacency and the money. And if you don't change that, complacency, if you don't take that money, I mean, listen, yes, money's hard to turn down. We all get that. That's where we've all seen different movies where, you give people the right amount of money, they'll do anything for you.
Right. I can't, like, people.
How many times
like
scrolling through your Facebook feed or whatever do you see, would you slap your sibling for $10 million?
Yeah, crap like that. Yeah.
I mean, and personally for me, I mean, you don't have to pay me to do it. I spent my entire life doing it. Like,
I mean,
I would like to be paid.
I get it. You know, I get it that big business have figured the game out, and yeah, that's gravy and all. But at some point in time, that there has to be a person or someone or an entity or group of individuals that are like, we are here for the change. We're here to change the system, because obviously for hundreds of years it has not worked. And I'll be honest, I was born in 1978. Since the 80s, this crap has not worked. We're going to start all the way back with Reaganomics. This crap has not worked.
Has not worked.
Okay.
Has not worked for everyone.
Right.
Has worked out just fine.
Has not worked for everyone. And that's the problem. Explain to me how the current minimum wage has been sitting at the same amount for 30 years. But
because there are people.
Hold on. But the cost of living has not changed. Not in there once. But the price of milk has gone up consistently almost every single year. However, there's still people out here making $7.25.
Because there are people who feel like if you up the pay, then oh my gosh, the cost of living is going to go up. My rent is going to go up. I'm like, listen, do you understand the pay has stayed stagnant in the same spot for over a decade? And where I used to have to pay $400, I have to pay $1,400. I don't understand how it's not connecting. Like, how do you up my rent and don't up my pay and then expect me to pay that? Or is that the whole dip situation we was talking about earlier?
Well, and it's funny too that Chris went and threw Reagan's name out there, because everybody threw a fit with, how do you put a reality TV star in the presidential seat?
Put a whole movie star in the presidential seat. We
Exactly.
put a whole actor in the governor's seat of LA. To me, that was no concern to me when that election happened in 2016. Yeah. My first concern was, where is the power at? Who's running the show? Because we knew it wasn't him.
That was not my concern either, for the fact that we've had my thing is that although it is a different breed, it's still a bird. So we didn't learn from the first time we had somebody out of Hollywood in the office. We gonna go another round. We gonna keep going. We gonna keep it's the definition of insanity. We're gonna keep doing the same thing and expect something different. And I don't understand, how do you expect something different in any situation if you keep electing the same ass whack mayor? You keep electing the same ass whack ass governor, the same ass state representative. You keep electing these whack ass people, and you're expecting some different changes, and you mad about the potholes, and you still got the potholes, but you had the potholes when they was in the first term. So what is you crying for?
So let me ask you this. I know this is a whole another episode in and of itself. What do you think of term limits in Congress and House of Representatives?
They ought to be.
Exactly.
I also believe it ought to be for the Supreme Court.
Yep.
Me too. I don't understand why I gotta look at you till you die. Why do you have to hold that office? When have you ever held a job and they say we're gonna keep you here till you die?
I missed two.
Unless you fall off a plane.
I missed 2 days of work and I'm damn near fired.
I get the why aren't you here? Because you told me I had the day off.
I don't believe anybody in office should hold their position for that long of a time until you die. I don't think anybody in office should be getting free medical care or free dental care either. Why the fuck you need it for free? Why do you need it for free when you can clearly pay for it? I don't understand why anybody in DC doesn't have to pay for the doctor's visits.
And especially considering the fact that my tax dollars, the money that you tax that come out of my paycheck, or the money that I use to go buy food and whatever, is taxed to a point where we can allow for you to get this free stuff. Listen, on a local level, I'm mad that I'm taxed to the point where we can afford a $1.5 billion stadium. Not one, but two of them.
Wait. But the thing of it is, on a local level, but when you file your taxes there, you file federal, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I gotta file federal and
I
state.
forgot. You're you're in the spot where you got to do state now. I'm sorry.
So not only do I get taxed when I go buy my groceries and the necessities I need along with the food, like the crap that I can't eat, the shit that wipes my ass, keeps me clean, keeps my house clean. You're gonna tax that. Then you're gonna tax me just because I live here? When I registered my car here, the car I bought in another state and had all the taxes figured into my sale. Do you know they taxed me for my car here when I registered it? I paid taxes on a car that I did not purchase here and had been driving for 3 years prior to living here.
So where you're at is Commonwealth? Is that Commonwealth?
Wait. Hold on. Before you do that, how did you get re-taxed on a car? I mean, I know there's a registration tax. There's that. You got a sticker too, don't you? You got a sticker. Not one, but two. Do you have two stickers up there or just one?
It's two stickers on either side of the plate.
Right. So you got.
But I only get one new sticker every year to register my car here. Okay. Cost me just under $300.
Is that a Commonwealth state? Okay, because I know Virginia, the only other state Virginia, another state that I lived in at one point in time, is Commonwealth. They don't have taxes though. Like you go to the store and they say $1.95. That's what it's ringing up. It's $1.95. You pay that. You don't pay the 8 cents on the dollar like we do here. But I believe I know they're a Commonwealth. It's just that I can't remember what's the difference between a Commonwealth and other than you don't pay the taxes. They get it back some other kind of way. I just can't think. Anyway, neither here nor there.
I fail to understand just how any, and this is I'll even go one further. You guys in Congress are fighting House of Representatives, Congress fighting over stimulus package. That money not yours. That money is ours. Why are you mad because the bill is designed to give the people back money? Why is the Republican Party so hell-bent on being small government, do for yourself, government shouldn't help you? If that's the case, then why is the Republican Party a party that's in charge of anything political if you don't want the government to do anything for anybody? Can somebody help me understand that? Not in this episode, please. We'll talk about it in the next one or offline. But I need someone to help me understand that, because if the Republican Party believes this way, which is how the state of Texas has been voting for close to 2 decades now, and why we're in so much trouble now, because the Republicans here don't feel as if, people need help, i.e. the mayor in, Colorado City, Texas, I think is what it is, had a whole post about...
Yeah, talk about his ass.
About...
his ass.
About people wanting to... about people having to pull themselves up by their own bootstraps, and you'll get through this. The government owes you nothing. The city owes you nothing. And the city doesn't have to help you with anything. You should be able to do it yourself.
Tim Boyd.
Sir, why are you in
bastard?
office?
Tim Boyd. How the fuck did you get there?
How
did you get there? See, this is one more reason, one more example of why your local elections are way more important than the presidential elections, because this is who you got in your city telling you to pull yourself up by this ain't our motherfucking problem, stop crying. Wait a minute, bitch. Hold on, what's your address? Because if you got heat, then we up in there. That's our house now. You got power, you got water, that's our house now. Again, this is why you have got to know who you voting for and vote at the very least. Sink or swim, it's your choice. How about I swim to your motherfucking house and see what you got going on? How about I do that? Let's do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and sink. I'm gonna go ahead and sink because I'm gonna walk across the bottom to get where I gotta go. It ain't above me to crawl.
I'm not gonna sink. I'm gonna swim to his house. I'm gonna post up. I think that was insensitive. Listen, man, you know how many people have died because they was cold or their house burned down, and you just like, oh well, fuck it, 2 tears in the bucket, fuck it.
Well, again, look at it this way.
That's not how you do it.
When the vaccines came out, who got it first?
Greg Abbott, president, vice president.
Definitely wasn't me.
Your members of government got it first.
It ain't me.
It ain't gonna be me.
I know that's right. They can have it. I'm good on that. I'm good on that. Listen, I was waiting after they shot up Greg. I was waiting to see if he was gonna get up. Because if he get up and walk, I want some of that too. But if he ain't gonna get up and walk, I don't want none of that. I was trying to see, was he gonna walk? Is you rolling out or you walking out, my guy? That's what I was trying to figure it out. He rolled out, so I was like, oh no, they ain't about that shit. Besides, you can't convince me that he got a vaccine anyway. That shit was full of saline.
A placebo.
A placebo. I ain't convinced.
Captain Rollerho. No, Captain Rollerho wasn't getting up and walking. If he ain't walked before now, he ain't walking now.
I don't know if y'all can tell, but I'm not at all impressed with any elected official. I'm sorry, I'm just not at all impressed. Like, I haven't found somebody that makes me say, damn, he out for a change. I like Beto and I like Bernie, but at the same time, I'm not convinced that once you make it to the spot you trying to get to, that you gonna do what you say you're gonna do. Because at the end of the day, for me, when it comes to politics, it ain't about what makes sense, it's what makes dollars. Well, and you doing what you said you gonna do ain't gonna make no dollars.
Part of what we got here is we've got politicians who we've raised our kids that if you drop out of school, you're not gonna amount to anything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? If you don't go to college, you're not gonna amount to anything. Meanwhile, we've had an elected official who got her GED while holding an office.
Wait, who was that? Which elected official was that one? Because I mean, I believe.
Is that a Texas elected official or?
No, it's not a Texas one. This is.
Oh wow! So she got a whole ass office, elected in the office, and just got a GED. That's a white folks.
But you know that there was just an elected official that's like 20 or 21 or something like that. He just got into office this past election. I think he's like 20 or 21.
Which state?
Yeah, that's the one who didn't realize that the District of Columbia, our fucking capital, was actually in the U.S. and that it shouldn't be in charge because why are we letting Columbia determine our shit? That dude.
Wasn't that the same dude that died like 2 weeks later from COVID or some shit? Was that the representative that died of COVID, or was that another one? Another dumbass.
But anyway, these people exist. Madison Cawthorn, Republican, North Carolina, currently the youngest U.S. representative. And how old is he? 25? Draws older than this guy. I got draws older than him.
Very much.
He was born in 1995. Fuck out of here. 95.
95.
He was born in 95.
I was a junior in high school.
This is the people we have. He's in Congress. He's a U.S. representative. And this dude over here was born. He was born in 87, but still younger than me. But he was born in 87. But the other dude was born in 95. He's a senator.
Born in 1995?
In 95. August 1st, 1995.
And he's a senator. From which state?
He's a senator. South Carolina? North Carolina.
North Kakalaki. Okay.
How y'all doing in North Carolina?
Okay. So we have...
Is he red or blue?
Red.
All right, so we have this one who got her GED 7 months before joining Congress. She is... Well, her name is Lauren Boebert.
Okay, so now this chick, Lauren, she's a representative for Colorado.
Is she white?
It's like she's a mix between Asian, Mexican, and white.
Okay.
She does look a little ambiguous. I'm just saying. Lauren, her middle name is Opal. She white. Opal?
Opal?
She white or she old? Black lady? Which one you want to go with? Which one y'all want to go with?
Oh man, that's funny. That's some funny shit.
Y'all know what? This
we're evil.
Wikipedia is hilarious. Okay, this little.
So what they say about Boebert over there?
Boebert was born in Almonte Springs, Florida on December 15th, 1986. When she was 12, I don't know.
Okay.
The Boondocks. Anyway,
when she was 12.
When she was 12, she and her family moved to Montebello neighborhood of Denver and later to Aurora, Colorado before settling in Rifle, Colorado in 2003.
Boebert
Bober has said that her parents voted Democrats and that they lived in poverty in Denver, where her mother received welfare. By 2001, when Bober was 14, her mother registered as a Republican. Bober credits her first job at 15 years old at McDonald's restaurant for changing her views about whether government assistance is necessary. Bober dropped out of high school her senior year. She would have graduated in 2004 because she had a child and took a job as an assistant manager at McDonald's Rifle. She obtained her GED in 2020, about a month before her first election primary. She later got a job filing for a natural gas drilling company and then became a pipeliner, a member of the team that builds and maintains pipelines and pumping stations. So McDonald's
who the hell voted?
Republican?
Who voted for this bro? Who voted for her? I mean, hate to sound disrespectful.
She cute. So
somebody show a picture. Somebody give me a picture. Somebody screen share so I can see this shit. Because I think you're lying. Her name is Bobert. Okay, her name is Bobert.
I mean, she honestly looks like somebody at a team mom. I'm not gonna lie.
Hang on, I'll get her back. Hold on. I got you. Hang on.
I need to see this without going to my home computer.
Hang on. I'm gonna get you.
Just got y'all full screen now, so yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah, she white. Yeah, she look like somebody at a team mom. Looks like somebody. Look at this.
Okay. Hang on.
How old is she?
Wait, let me show you the picture I got of her. Now,
1980. Oh, and she's a QAnon person.
I'm sorry.
QAnon and oh my god. Oh Lord.
She looks like every sorority girl in the picture I just sent to Messenger. Every sorority girl who wasn't a blonde.
Literally, no, for real. Seriously, no. But she does. Like, no, literally, she does. Seriously.
Oh my and McDonald's changed her mind?
McDonald's changed her mind about being a Republican. McDonald's made her want to be.
She ain't got no lips. Did you see the picture of the same sent? This chick.
It's in the chat. All she gotta do is bring it up.
This chick ain't got no lips. None. All you see is teeth. You straight up just see teeth. That's all you see. Somebody married it.
Which means we know she wasn't on her knees to get where she is.
Pretty much.
Or was she?
Yeah, dude might have liked all teeth. I don't know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. The picture on Wikipedia looked like 10 times better than this bullshit. But all right, okay. Where were we at in this show? I don't even know anymore. Like, I don't even know how to bring this shit back. Where were we at? We talking about?
But anyway, where were we at in this show? Because Lord Bobert.
We were talking about putting people in for, with change, and the officials that we
elect are shitty, such as Lauren Bobert. I mean, but here's the thing: if she can get elected, like being a teen mom with a GED, I don't see why everybody else can't. Like, I think it's about.
But this is just it. The people who should hold the offices, okay? Because what we have to remember as a nation is our government is supposed to be for the people, of the people. What we keep doing is taking 1% of these people and deciding that these are the people because we've got money. And to even attempt to run for an office, you have to have X amount of dollars. Mm-hmm. It's a betting game.
So how she get her money and she ain't even graduated?
Well, because apparently there's a big thing for no lip porn.
Oh, I'm here.
But I mean,
it is what it is.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, donations and all that good stuff, and like you said, she looks the part. She spoke the part, obviously, looking at her background.
I mean, I don't fault her, and I applaud her for the amount of time that transpired between the time she dropped out and the time she got her GED. I do not fault her for that. I applaud her for that. Okay, do not get me wrong.
Yeah.
But can you also have a little bit of a deeper education? I consider myself smart. Like, I'm not dumb.
I don't understand.
But I'm not going to run for an office.
I would like to know what McDonald's did she work at and who the fuck hurt her feelings at that McDonald's? Because obviously she was at a ghetto ass McDonald's and they rammed her ass and told her some shit. And she was like, "Ooh, I can't do the welfare no more, and I'm not gonna ever do that. I'm done being a Democrat. I want to be a Republican." And this, what? Who the fuck hurt you? What did McDonald's do exactly to make you feel like?
Led her to believe that someday she would make $15.55 an hour flipping burgers.
Is that what it was? She became a manager. I don't know. Listen, anyway,
and I mean, okay, good. You decided to get off welfare, but right. Why did that change? Why did that change your political party? The idea.
That's all I'm asking. It's nothing wrong with you wanting to do better for yourself. There's nothing wrong with you saying, I don't want any government assistance or I want to be off welfare. There's nothing wrong with that. But why did that affect you so much that you changed your political views? And were you even smart enough to have political views in the first place? Because sis.
Well, and more importantly, why did you let what mom chose to register as determine what you were?
Hello.
I know plenty of households where mom's Republican, dad's Democrat, junior's a liberal, and little miss is an anarchist.
Oh, are we talking about what's her name? Carrie Ann? Is that her house? Carrie Ann? What's that chick name? Carrie Ann? Y'all know who I'm talking about. Carrie Ann. Her daughter be on Snapchat, and her husband is a.
Oh yeah, Kellyanne. Yeah.
Oh, Kellyanne.
I used to be the spokesperson for
Amy literally just described her household.
Yeah, that household is toxic as hell.
I mean, my dad was a registered Democrat. I mean, for the longest time, he was at Democratic things in Dallas. That was what Dad did. Where did I stand on a political party line? I don't have one. I'm not, I'm not going to say I'm Republican and then vote pure Republican. I'm not going to say I'm Democrat and vote pure Democrat. Give me a candidate who speaks to what I feel and speaks to me on another level. That's who I'm voting for.
I agree. I can't say that. I can't sit up here and say that I fully agree with everything that Republicans say, or I fully agree with everything that Democrats say. I vote for who I like. I vote for who I feel is gonna do something for me and mine. Not even to be funny, but yeah, that's who I'm mostly worried about. But yeah, I agree with you. Long story short, I agree with you. I don't always vote one way and just, I don't understand. Damn, this is a whole nother show. But I'm just gonna put it out there and leave it out there. I don't understand how so many people can put their heart and faith and mind into a person for the simple fact of their political affiliation. At the end of the day, let me tell you something. Whether you're voting Democrat, Republican, liberal, independent, whoever you vote, Green Party, Weed Party, whatever, birthday party, whatever the fuck. Those are real things. Look them up. Those are real things. Look them up. Kanye was the birthday party candidate. Not even gonna lie. That's the name of his party, was birthday party. Kanye was the birthday party candidate. Anyway, no matter who you vote for, how do you put all of your faith into this one person and think that this person is going to do and change? And listen, people lie. And the thought that this person is going to change your whole entire life and being because you voted for him is stupid.
I'm gonna need you to look in the mirror and look at your past relationships, because you put all your heart and faith and trust in this one and that one and this one and that one way over there. And who you got now?
Nobody. My ass is still fucking single. So that's why I do not put my faith into all of one person to get a job. Oh, I'm gonna do this and this and this, and you do sound like my ex. Sound just like his ex. Show me something. Don't tell me what you're gonna do. Show me something. So here's my thing. When it comes to our constituents, or when it comes to our elected officials, why is there no concern for the quality of life of their constituents, such as better roads, homelessness issues, funding for social programs?
Okay,
why are they not concerned with the quality? Not necessarily, let me pass you $1,400 on the stimulus check and work it out. Why aren't you concerned with the fact that I did not have heat in the middle of December or in the middle of February?
Because it didn't affect me.
In the words of T.I., if it ain't about the money.
If it ain't about the money.
Your dilemma neither cost me more money or provided me money. Therefore, it's not my problem. I make more money with you being dead than I do because you're cold.
Hot damn shame.
It's all about the money.
Which is, I guess, automatically answering the next question, which is why are other things more important, such as, out of country contracts or privately owned prisons? Again, money train, right?
Okay.
Money makes the world go round. Now, considering that, I don't understand why out of country contracts is. Of course, it exploded 80s and 90s. We started sending work south of the border, north of the border, different countries or whatever, because it was cheaper to do it over there, send it back over here for a profit.
It's not only that, but you have the people there that we demand a livable wage. Okay. I know what you want me to do, and I understand how you want me to do it. But here's the thing. I want to be paid this. This is what I know. This is the bare minimum of what I know I at least deserve. I like more, yes, but I'll do it for at least this. Meanwhile, over there and across the ocean, and over there, oh, you gonna pay me this, and I have to do this. Okay. Because see, I can hire 100 people at $4 an hour, whereas I can only hire 25 at $8 an hour.
This is my spiel.
Go right ahead.
I only caught a portion of this, which is the whole labor thing.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Part of the reason these jobs are going for so cheap over there is it's so cheap to live. Cost of living there is phenomenally less than it is here. Take $25,000 to Singapore, live like a king forever till you die. That's where the $25,000 came in. Go to Mexico, $250,000. Live like a king forever. You can buy parts of the government for that much there. Okay. You could buy your own small army there for that much money and make a hell of a lot more money after that.
Right.
So that's why our jobs go there. United States wants to say, we're all about the community, this, that, and the other. We're consumers. We consume. We're all about the dollar. Our dollar's nothing anymore. It ain't worth shit anymore because we're so far in debt. Because all those rich people want to keep their money. They want us to pay for their shit. So instead of the rich people saying, hey, let's get out of debt to where our dollar actually means something again and putting some of their billions towards the deficit. Because I mean, they don't need $50 billion. Who needs it?
I do.
Shut up.
That is so going in the episode, right? That one right there. That's going in there. Continue.
Okay. If all these rich people actually pitch in and do something for their community to help alleviate our trillions in debt, everybody's taxes will be lower. The dollar will be worth more. Our consumerism that we take part of today, and that's part of our lifestyle, can continue better. But them people in government and them rich people are greedy sons of bitches, and they ain't going to do that. They want us to work our asses off for as little as possible. Otherwise, they're going to ship our jobs elsewhere. And they're going to say, hey, why are you all these homeless people now? You're taking our jobs. You're sending our jobs to other countries that work for less, but they pay less for their living situation. So that's my random rant. Later.
That goes back because it also touches back on something that I said once before. Our economy is a fragile house of cards. The government doesn't want us to stop spending our money, because if we stop spending our money like the billionaires stop spending their money, guess what we have? We have another depression. Yeah, since we are broke and all, So now that we broke, homeless, and our jobs are all over, the world because.
I agree. Who needs $50 billion?
I do.
No, you don't. Go away.
Okay. The same person with $50 billion, because of the fact that he has $50 billion, has decided that you need a vaccine also. And have y'all seen the latest interview with him and his wife, where his wife specifically, black people need to get this, is what she said. Them her words, not mine. Because you have $50 billion.
We talking Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos?
Bill
Gates?
Talking about Gates? What you got against Bill Gates? What do you got something against Bill Gates? What you got against Bill Gates?
I got something against Bill Gates. Is not a fucking doctor who can come tell me what the hell vaccine I need to put inside of my body. That's my issue with Bill Gates.
Why the hell you listen to Bill Gates? Why do you?
I don't listen to Bill Gates.
This is the man who has funded the vast majority of vaccine research.
I'm trying to understand What's in it for you?
The same thing as
He doing
anything.
it.
The same
He
thing
ain't
as
doing it
anything.
because he a nice dude.
The same thing
No.
as for anybody else. I mean,
He's doing it because he financed the research. He was wanting his damn money back. So he's making everybody take these fucking vaccines. And he's charging either your insurance or you an arm and a fucking nut for it.
so in what
Ladies' case
country-
an arm, guys' case a nut.
right? So this is why I don't pay attention to anybody that has more money than me, because at the end of the day, I know what you in it for, and I don't give a fuck.
He's
Diddy.
also into the vast.
Basically, him too, brother.
I don't
Love.
pay attention to Diddy because Diddy
Nah.
is like one of the stupidest people to me, and
Nah,
I just can't fuck with that.
can't
I
rock
just
with that.
I don't feel like his mind is correct. But anyway, baby, that's a whole nother show too.
I was gonna say, if we want to jump on the Gates train, look into where he spends a lot of the money for the research to be done for testing.
I'm trying to understand why he
doesn't
bought all that
direct-
land.
Because that's eventually Josh just gave you a whole layout as to what would what's happening with the dollar. So what becomes currency after that? What makes
So
you more?
electronic
What makes you more money than anything else?
money.
What's going to make you more money than anything else?
I think it's deeper than that.
No, it's not. It's
I
very.
If you
It's,
think about it,
it's
we are
simple.
now transitioning to Bitcoin and Dogecoin.
But what is one
Virtual
thing?
currency.
That reminds me, I ain't checked on my Bitcoin today.
What is
Continue.
one thing that everybody's going to need at some point in time?
Food, water,
Air.
electricity.
Land. You need 99% of that from land. So that's where your economy. That's how they're going to stay rich. That's how.
Look,
Jeff Bezos owns more land than people know he owns. He
well,
owns
here's the funny thing.
millions of acres.
That's why his ass retired now.
Exactly.
In 2021, we left Jumanji and started playing Oregon Trail.
Is that what we're on? Because I thought we were on level 2 of Jumanji.
No,
I was trying to see what's going on.
No, we play in Oregon Trail.
But yeah, no, we're not playing. We playing Oregon Trail. We was playing Jumanji last year. We playing Oregon Trail this year. But
I ain't even gonna lie. I'm tired of playing these games with people.
then what do you do?
I'm too old for this.
What do? You either change the game, or you still got to play the game.
At least in
I
Oregon
heard
Trail,
this
you had a
in
chance
my
to
head.
survive as long as you had a skill.
Where are we back at? We're back to what we need to do to be vigilant about voting and all of that good stuff. Okay.
Be vigilant. No, what we
Are
need to
ready
do.
roll?
It's what we need to do. Be vigilant about voting. It's part of what we need to do.
That's
Be vigilant about voting, especially in the local elections. This stuff is really hard because sometimes you really like. I'm one of those people that happens to be somewhat blessed with the gift of discernment, and sometimes it's like, okay, you know, everybody is full of that bullshit. So how do you be vigilant when you know nobody is for you as far as voting? When you know these people is really not gonna. For example, the councilwoman in my district, she is doo-doo. She's garbage. Okay?
We have to do what we have to do.
I mean, she garbage too.
What we have to do is we have to go piss off some sorority girl dropout at McDonald's. That's what we got to do.
In order to be vigilant with voting, we have to go. And you know what? I'm just not really with the pissing off of it. The what she called the sorority girl.
Yeah, the sorority girl that used to work in McDonald's. That one. Mhm.
Yeah, I'm just like, she looked wrong to me. So I'm just, no thank you. As in ran through raw is what I meant. She looks ran through. Like, I don't understand how she got to her spot the way she got to her spot from working at McDonald's.
Working at McDonald's to
She
here
looked ran
Senate.
through to me. So.
Yeah, I mean that you definitely have to, as we talked through this before we went on air, as we created this episode, definitely gotta educate yourself and
Yes.
be willing to fight with your local officials. Be willing to be the one that steps up and steps out there and says and calls the BS from a mile away. If you don't call out the BS, they're gonna keep doing it. You know,
And just with the educate yourself, do your own fucking research. Do not depend on somebody to come and tell you about somebody else.
Well, more
Man,
importantly, do
please,
deeper
please,
research than
TikTok.
what you found on YouTube and TikTok.
please,
Yes, please.
please.
Do not do. Listen, if you got to go old school to a card catalog at the local library, do that.
Find
But
Encyclopedia
if you-
Britannica. something.
Don't go on TikTok and try to look up your
There's no Wikipedia.
congressman TikTok and see what they talk about. Don't do that.
Please don't. Please don't.
As far as local officials and everything go, they could be searched through microfilm and any other news outlet and have everything published on them. And if you want a behind the scenes type thing to see what the hell dirt they have, do a fucking CCAP or whatever the hell it is. Do a fucking background search on them.
Yeah.
If you don't want to pay the money for the background search, get enough interest that somebody else does and releases it.
Hey, for $19.99, you can use any one of those searches and search whoever you want from.
At least a bunch.
I mean,
That's why I need this, baby. I'll be finding out dirt I don't need to know about.
but that's just it. Once,
Oh no, I'm not talking about the Congress people. I'm talking about ex-boyfriends.
that's just it. Once you get down to digging dirt, you ain't gonna want to stop. That's a whole rabbit hole in itself.
I'm choosing not to travel down that one because next thing you know, I'll be like, damn, I spent $200 on this shit. Yeah, because that $19.99 kept sounding good every month.
Next thing you know, everything about everybody or close to it.
But you can actually, if you Google your congressman, there'll be sites from their school history on what colleges they went to, what they were doing, you know. And if you filter through that and get rid of the bullshit and actually go for what they actually have done, not what they are, we're thinking about, signing this bill, or we're thinking about this. What bill did you actually sign? What were you actually doing?
See, again, this is all bad for me because the first thing I'm looking up is,
Continue. I'm sorry. First thing you're looking up is,
if I was to get on here and look up my congressman, the first thing I'm going to is Skull and Bones. I'm just trying to see who was part of that. I just want to know.
Skull and Bones itself did not actually exist. However, there were secret fraternity and clubs, gentlemen clubs for the Ivy Leaguers that did exist.
they had scrippers.
They had scribbles.
You said gentlemen's club. I said they had scrippers. So, they had strippers.
Well, the Ivy Leaguers were always gentlemen, quote unquote, but they were only for their Ivy League peoples, their top 1%. And I hate using the 1% after the whole Dallas 1%er thing went out of hand and this, that, and the other years ago. But the whole thing is, it's actually like 3% of the population.
To wrap this up, I would like to say that it is important that we are willing to fight for change. If you're going to sit there and complain and not do nothing, I'd rather you shut your pie hole.
That sounds good.
That's pretty much my sentiments exactly.
Can I open it if there's pie?
Only.
Okay.
Only.
If you want to stand up for change, you also have to network yourself and everybody around you and get your community involved in that change.
Absolutely.
Because one person alone can't do it.
Absolutely.
For example, if you're going to stand up for change, actually stand up and do something. Don't be all talk. And we're not talking dancing. We're talking make your stand. If you say, hey, we should do this, actually do it.
Like we did with our podcast. You can catch us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and even here recently, TikTok, the Zennials Podcast. Except on Insta, where I do believe we are the Zennials Pod.
That is correct. And we are the Zennials Podcast on Snapchat as well.
We are also on Spotify, Apple, Google, Anchor, and you can email us if you really want to talk at zennialspodcast7270@gmail.com.
Say goodnight, Tora.
Night, Tora.